Hey there, YouTubers, um, or just anyone watching this video. Might be on Facebook, might be on anything. So, I want to talk today about something I believe the left and the right can both get behind. That something is about taxes. Now, I think the left and the right both agree taxes have to be paid, whether you want it paid for the military or you want it paid for social programs. Taxes have got to be paid, right? Right. We're all behind that 100%. And I think even most of us are behind the marginal tax rate, which can stink if you're making a lot of money. But ultimately, if someone makes $50,000 and their CEO makes $1 million, the first $50,000 is taxed exactly the same. So then every bit more that CEO makes, it's taxed more. That's fine, right? So they both work 40 hours a week. CEO makes way more money, and the important part to live on is taxed exactly the same. And then when you get to that higher rate, it's taxed into the 40%. But the first bit was taxed exactly the same. That's how marginal taxes work, in case you don't know. It's broken up in levels, and the first bit of your income's at 0%, then it goes up to another percent, another percent, another percent, until you're into I think it's 48% for the highest. Something like that. I'm not going to look it up. You can look it up. That's not the point of this. Left and right, we both agree everyone should pay taxes. Now, my problem comes into play. You can't control you can you can't control really how much money you make hourly, right? That's kind of you have a certain amount of control to that, but ultimately it's up to the employer if you get hired, if you get promotions, your education, stuff like that. Certain parameters you do control with that, but yeah. But there is one part that you have full control over. It's it's how many hours you work a week, and I think that's where we need to be focused on. I think that's where the tax rate needs to be headed. Because if someone works 40 hours a week, you tax them for those 40 hours, but someone else works 50 hours a week, is it fair to tax them for that 50 hours? I have two examples here. I'll try to put like a little fast forward thing to jump to both. The first example is the more moderate example. It's not the extreme. The second one is very extreme. If you listen to either of them, I would at least listen to the second one. Like I said, I'll put a little link here so you can just jump straight to it if you want to. Or I'll try to put a little tag on what minute mark it is. So for both these examples, we're going to use John and Jane Doe. Just mutual exclusive names we use for unidentified people. There's no prejudice or anything on that at all. But yeah, let's say John and Jane both work at a factory. They both make $25 an hour, but the factory enacts mandatory overtime. Now let's say Jane has John beat by seniority by a hair, and it was the cutoff point, and so John has to work mandatory overtime, but Jane doesn't. So let's put a year on it. Let's put 2018. Neither had to work any overtime. Neither did work overtime. Both of them worked 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, sorry. 4 days a week, 10 hours a day at $25 an hour. So both of them made $52,000, and their federal taxes was $4,745. $4,745. That's how much they both paid in federal taxes each. So let's jump to 2019. January 1st, mandatory overtime starts. John has to take it. So the mandatory overtime is they have to work Friday, 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. So John has to work 25% more. So John's going to take home that year, before taxes, $71,500 more. But instead of being taxed $4,745, or let's say 25% more than that, because he only worked 25% more than that, he's taxed almost double. He's taxed $9,035. He worked 25% more, and he got taxed almost double, 1.9 times more. Also, John lost 52 days off because he had to work an extra day each day of the week. 52 days in a week, 52 days off. Now, if you work 5 days a week, you know, um, your vacation, a week's vacation, takes 5 vacation days. So imagine having to work 52 days extra. That's 10 weeks of vacation. More than that for John, because he only works 4 weeks. So how many weeks is that for John normally? 52 divided by 4, 13 weeks. 13 weeks of John's normal vacation is how much he's working extra. 13 weeks extra. And we taxed him almost double. Now let's put you in John's shoes even more. Let's make it more real. John has a son. He's divorced. And he gets to see his son every other weekend. John normally picks his son up after school on Friday. But since he has to work Friday now, he can't see his son until Saturday morning. So now he's losing time away from his family. 26 days away from his family. 6.5 weeks of vacation, if you look at it that way. But 26 days. 26 days. A third. Gone. But how much more money did John take home? Well, you kind of got to take some other factors in, and we're only gonna take one other factor in: driving to and from work, gas mileage, wear and tear on your car. Let's say he works 25 miles away from home, so 50 miles a day, 52 extra days. That's 2,600 extra miles. Let's put it at the national average, which is 54 cents per mile. That's gas, oil changes, repairs, any maintenance on your car. It figures about 54 cents per mile. So we're costing him an extra $1,404 on his car, or his company is. So with the new taxes at $9,035 and the $1,404 in car maintenance, taking off his $71,500, he brought home $61,061. 29% more than what he made the year before. And he worked 25% more. He lost all that. So that is, So let's say we only taxed him for the first 40 hours. Well, he would have made 33.5% more instead of 29% more. It's about 4.5% more. Not that huge, in the grand perspective of it, but it's about $4,000 more. It's a little over $4,000 more. No, it's right about $4,000. Sorry. Actually, how much is it? Let me figure out. I might as well figure it out, right? Let's see. 1896 minus 13,806. $4,290 more. So if you're a middle class American or low income spectrum, $4,290. For someone who normally makes $5,200 a year, that's quite a bit of money. I mean, that's 4 or 5 mortgage payments, rent payments. Could be your car payments for the year. That's quite a bit of money. Now let's look at the extreme example. So I'll remember we're about 11 minutes in. Okay. So this next example is going to prove my point even more. That Americans should only get taxed the first 40 hours they work. Otherwise, it's not fair. It's not fair. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, it just blows my mind how this is an issue more than what it is. It's like you put in your 40 hours. You worked your 40 hours. Let's say we were a full socialism country and everyone only made the same amount of money. Everyone would be expected to put in the same amount of work time. Your 40 hours in our society, you're putting in what you're supposed to, right? You work 40 hours, you pay 40 hours worth of taxes. There, I worked 40 hours, here's my 40 hours worth of taxes. Why should you get more if I work extra? Why should I pay more if I work extra? Why can't I get ahead that much more by working extra, by taking more time away from my family? Why? Why? So this next example, we'll say John and Jane Doe again. So this time Jane is the extra worker, just to be fair, because John worked extra last time. This time Jane works extra. Okay. So Jane works 2 jobs, one at the gas station and one at Kroger. She works 40 hours a week at each job, and she makes $15 an hour. First off, if you don't believe people do work 2 40-hour jobs, you're kidding yourself. Because people do it. Some people do. I don't. I'm very thankful I don't. I don't think I could. I don't know if I could. That much free time. But, like the Democrats yell and scream about, like, you need $15 to live on, whatever. I'm not going to get in that point or what I think about that. But yeah. So Jane works 2 full-time jobs, 40 hours each, and just for practical purposes, makes $15 an hour at each job. John works at Kroger with Jane and works 40 hours. Okay. So 2018 or 19, your pick. The tax rate's the same on both of them. We're just gonna do 1 year here. So John makes $31,200 a year, and in taxes, he pays $2,117 a year. Jane wants to better herself though, wants to take care of her family more. Maybe she has a kid about to go to school. Maybe she just wants to have a nicer car, a nicer house, for nicer things for her family, for herself, whatever. Who cares? It's her choice. She wants to work 2 jobs. She's just trying to get ahead. So Jane working these 2 jobs, 40 hours a week, $15 an hour each, makes double what John does, $62,400. Now John works 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. He's off 2 days, gets plenty of sleep, plenty of time. Now Jane is only off on Mondays. She's able to work out both schedules where she was able to get a Monday off. And in fact, on Tuesday is her first day working, and it's nights, so she even gets to sleep in a little bit on Monday and Tuesday. That's where she catches up. Um, but Tuesday through Saturday, she works at the gas station, and she works 10 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. with a half-hour lunch. So there's your 8 hours, 4 days a week. At Kroger, she works Wednesday through Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. So yeah, so at 10 p.m. she's going to the gas station to work, and then as soon as she's off work at 6:30, she's got 30 minutes to get to start her shift at Kroger. And maybe she got an hour. You can divvy it up however you want. But at Kroger, she works 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. with a half-hour lunch break. So on 4 days a week, she's lucky to get 5 hours of sleep. And she's off Monday and doesn't go into work late on Tuesday. That's it. She works 16 hours, but she's gone from 10 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. It's a long time. How long is that? Let's see. So 10 to 10 would be 12 hours. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and a half hours. That's not even counting travel time. 17 and a half hours, not even counting the travel time. That is dedicated to work. But it pays off because she makes $62,400 a year. That's good money, right? That's good money. That's middle class. I don't know where the middle class actually starts, but I feel like that's middle class money. But how much is she paying taxes? $7,033. 3.3 times more than John did. She works twice as much as John, makes twice as much as John, pays 3.3 times in taxes. How is that fair? How is that fair at all? That's not the marginal tax rate where, both make 50,000. No, that's Jane working 2 separate jobs, working twice as much, paying 3.3 times as much. That's not fair. And if you think that is fair, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what else to convince you. Let's say they both have kids, and John gets to go to every one of his kids' ball games or anything like that because they're off at 3:30 p.m. from Kroger. But Jane only gets to go to the ones on Monday. It's not fair. So if you agree, please share this video, like it. Maybe someone can even make like a little anime. I'm not that good at. I'm not going to take all that time to do that because I don't have the skill set at all or the free time. But I feel like this is a message that needs to be pushed because there are people. I've met people who work 2 40-hour jobs. I didn't realize that people did that, but they are, and they're paying 3.3 times more in taxes than someone working at one of their jobs if they're at the same hourly rate. Whatever. Doesn't even matter. I think, my opinion, is you should only be taxed 40 hours a week. And if you work 2 jobs, let's say you are taxed the highest paying job, 40 hours, whatever. Or at the very, 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 very least, if you work 2 jobs, 40 hours, that'd be hard to do. I was going to say double the tax credit. I don't know what kind of workaround or things I would have to do. Let's just say the first 40 hours. Is that not fair? They are contributing to taxes just as if they didn't work that second job, just as if they didn't work the overtime. Because if they didn't work the overtime, then they're only going to pay the 40 hours. And most of the time they don't have to work that extra bit after the 40 hours. So why are we making people pay taxes after 40 hours? That's it. I hope you all have a great day. I'm sorry the left and the right are so divided right now in this country. I hope that eventually we can get more closer back to the middle, or at least be able to come to certain agreements on each other and not just yell at each other, calling the other an idiot for not agreeing with what they agreed. But maybe we can put on the other person's shoes and try to see it from their side. But I hope you all have a great day, have a great week, and let's fight for tax only the first 40 hours. Tax only the first 40 hours. We already have to pay income tax, which used to not exist, but it does. So let's only tax the first 40 hours. Thanks. Later.